Tonight is the night, bright lights, high crowd, yeah, we came to throw down, everybody get loud. Tonight is the night, A-list, can't miss, when we burn it to the ground, everybody get down. Tonight is the night, we stay climbing while our fame kept rising, steady climbing, now we on top.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review for the September 28th edition of Monday Night Raw. And wow, what can I say? This was one of the greatest episodes of Raw. No, we're not going to kid ourselves in this review. This might also be considered a rant, because this was, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most boring, uninspired piece of crap episodes of Raw that I've seen, not only this whole year, but that I've ever watched, period. I mean, this just sucked ass. This was pathetic. And this is how you're going to counter low ratings going up against the juggernaut that is Monday Night Football? I mean, hell, it's a joke. They did not even try last night, and it's evident. 3 hours of this crap. I couldn't even sit through all three. I mean, I was channel surfing back and forth. The Pittsburgh Pirates, our baseball team, was playing a pivotal matchup against the Cardinals, and at times, Big Show Mark Henry, click. The Divas six woman tag, seen it, click. So you know what? It's just like, come on, put some effort into these Raws, because Hell in a Cell, it ain't gonna mean shit. It ain't gonna mean shit because you're not building to nothing. Nothing really happened on the show until the end, and we'll get to that. It was a great ending to a terrible show. So I really hated this Raw. I mean, this was garbage. Well, there was another thing I liked on the show. I liked how it started, and I liked how it ended. Everything else in between, who cares? So we had John Cena come out, and he made his way, and he announced that tonight, the United States Open Challenge will return. And he called out, he laid the challenge out. Whoever wants to come out, step up from a challenge, come on. Then who would come out but the New Day Rocks? New Day Rocks. The New Day, the most entertaining thing on this show, came out to accept John Cena's challenge. And they're running him down, they're bad-mouthing him, and then they get in a little huddle, and they're like, okay, Xavier Woods, you're going to take on John Cena. So that was nice, fresh matchup. Woods and Cena went at it. Eventually the referee said Big E and Kofi had to go to the back, and this led to a nice little match between Woods and Cena. And as Cena was putting on the STFU, Big E and Kofi came out, led to the ref ringing the bell for the DQ. Then the Dudley Boys came out to make the save for Cena, and this would eventually, I liked how they turned this into a 6-man tag. The Dudley Boys and John Cena taking on the New Day. It was an alright match. All 6 guys looked like they were having fun out there. And eventually it looked like Devon, he hit the Dudley Death Drop, and then they were going to hit the 3D, but then Woods grabbed Bubba's legs and allowed for Kofi to hit Trouble in Paradise to pick up the win. So this was an alright match, it was what it was. And then from here the show hit the shits. Then we had, I didn't even watch this, so I'll just tell you the results. We had Big Show taking on Mark Henry. Yeah, you heard me right. Big Show versus Mark Henry. Is this 1999? I mean, what the hell? Who wants to see this? It's a joke. I do not care about Big Show. I haven't cared about him in a long time, and it's annoying me that he's in this prominent spot facing Brock Lesnar when it should be Cesaro. It should be, but they won't. And Cesaro is on Superstars this week. So you know what? Screw you, Cesaro, pretty much by management. You're getting over. You're getting the Cesaro section. the crowd's getting behind a young, up-and-coming talent. What do they do with them? They freaking do nothing with them. And here we get Big Show versus Mark Henry. Big Show beat Henry with the knockout. And it says a memorable moment and quote from this match was Big Show said, "I'm a damn giant." And here's my memorable quote. "Please retire." So who cared about that? And we had Miz TV. We kind of saw this already. It was with Charlotte and Becky Lynch. Charlotte and Becky pretty much cut Miz off and threw his mic out of the ring. And Nikki Bella came out and she was like, "I started the Divas Revolution." And, but Charlotte's like, "No, it's because of all you people." And then Paige made her way out and she's like, "I was the youngest first NXT Women's Champion. I won the Women's Divas title on my debut night. Blah, blah, blah." Then Team Bella went at it with Paige and Charlotte and Becky. They had a brawl. And then this made no sense. They had Paige team up with Charlotte and Becky to take on Team Bella, even though Paige turned on Charlotte a week ago. That makes no sense whatsoever. None. It makes no sense. I mean, why would Paige team up with the people that she just badmouthed and criticized? So, it made no sense. I'm like, what are we doing here? Clearly, she became the anti-diva. I didn't watch this match. I was watching the Pirate game, so I went click, and it was a 6 Divas tag match. We've seen this match way too many times before. I told you, they needed to branch these ladies off, allow them to thrive as individuals, and stop with the team crap. It's just so annoying. But apparently they didn't learn their lesson, just like they didn't learn their lesson about the Royal Rumble. So, there's no Divas Revolution, and I got my hopes up for there being one, and I should have known better. Until Vince retires, there will not be a women's revolution like we've seen on NXT. So, Team Bella wins via pinfall. Whoop-de-doo. Then we had actually a part of the show I forgot about that I liked. We had the primetime players face off against the team of Luke Harper and Braun Strowman. I thought this was a good back and forth match. It had more time than I thought it was going to be. But in the end, it made Harper and Strowman look very strong by getting the win via submission. He was able to make O'Neal submit after Strowman locked him in. It was a fun, short match, and it was in between all this garbage. It's sad we didn't get more stuff like this on this show. This really built up the formidable team of Harper and Strowman, and I can eventually see them making a run at the tag team championships. And let's see. Then we had Neville versus Stardust. Apparently the match did not happen because King Barrett returned and he knocked out Neville and Stardust with the bullhammer. Please tell me. I mean, they referenced him as King Barrett, but I would like to see Bad News Barrett return because that was actually getting over with the crowd. He was getting a reaction. People were saying, "I'm afraid I've got some bad news." And that was awesome, and that felt like the perfect fit for him. And then when they stuck this King gimmick on him, it could have worked, but they had him lose every single match. This is the problem. They're not building new stars. They aren't. And Barrett's a talented guy, and he could be a world champion if you build him up to that level, but they have not. And why should I have faith in them with doing anything with him positively? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So, Barrett returned. I like Barrett. I'm a fan of Wade Barrett. but I just don't see them doing anything with him for whatever reason. I don't get it. I just don't. So Barrett was back. Oh boy. Then we had the one of the worst segments of the night that I'm sure Vince enjoyed. We had the stupid performance evaluation segment. This was just scripted garbage, just terrible. So earlier in the night, the authority said that Kane would have to undergo a human resource evaluation because there was a complaint filed by an employee. Obviously, anyone with a brain cell could figure out that Rollins was the one that filed the complaint after Kane dragged him to hell a week ago. So then this Lady Ashley from HR came out and she didn't even get to say anything until Rollins came out and made his way, and they showed some video packages of Rollins berating Kane and saying that he's pretty much a corporate yes man, what have you. And Ashley was able to determine that Kane was sound of mind and he would not be removed as director of operations. But rather, she turned it around and said Rollins was the one that needed the evaluation. Then Rollins got into the ring. He started poking Kane, hitting him in the chest with the WWE title. He dropped it. And then he started to attack Kane's leg. He got a chair. He hit him a couple times with the chair. And eventually they stretchered Kane out. Put him in an ambulance. And then, there's smoke appearing. And then the Demon Kane appears out of the ambulance and comes back in the ring, and Rollins gets his ass handed to him by Kane, gets the choke slam, but Rollins slides away before Kane can Kane can hit the tombstone pile driver. And we're going to get Rollins versus Kane at Hell in a Cell. Yay. This would be great as, I said, in 1998, this would have been great. Kane was such a badass. He had this mystique about him. They booked him correctly. He was a monster. He was someone you feared because you knew as soon as Kane's music hit back in 98, that shit was going to go down. And it's just a joke now. We need to build new stars. Maybe you should have given this spot to a Kevin Owens, to a Neville, to a Cesaro, a Rusev, a Dolph Ziggler, a Dean Ambrose, a Roman Reigns. I don't know, Bray Wyatt. Somebody different, please. It just pisses me off that Kane, in 2015, was challenging for a world title. Pathetic. It's really pathetic on their part. Then we had a part that I liked. It was a squash match, but we had Bo leave. Bo Dallas came out. Love Bo. I wish they would do so much more for him. Another young talent that is being wasted. But he came out and he referenced that the Buffalo Bills, this is the home of they're in Buffalo, New York. So the Bills, who there were some sitting at ringside, that they were missing the Super Bowl trophy. And then everybody started to boo and the way to fix that is all you've got to do is Bo leave. And then Randy Orton came out and he pretty much squashed Dallas, and he hit him with the DDT, a couple forearms, and he hit the RKO for a 3 count. So that was that. Then we had Kevin Owens versus Rusev, and this would have been a really good match if they actually had a match. The match didn't even get going underway, but Ryback was out on commentary, and then Owens eventually started kicking Ryback's ass, and then Rusev teamed up and threw him into the steel steps, which led to the bell ringing for no contest, and Ryback was getting teamed up, getting his ass kicked between Owens and Rusev, and then Dolph Ziggler would come out to make the save, and then Owens would scurry out of the ring. It really wasn't nothing memorable. It's just, what can I say? You need to do more with these guys. Come on, please. So this was This was nothing special, to say the least. Then we had, Paul Heyman made his way to the ring, and thank God, because this show needed saving, because obviously WWE's not intent on putting on a good show tonight. So Heyman pretty much, talked about how Lesnar is going to make, we said the Big Show was bored, he was a giant among men, and that Brock Lesnar pretty much is going to take Big Show to Suplex City. Then Big Show came out, and the segment got more boring every time Show opened his mouth. Said that Lesnar's afraid of him, and he'll be the one to beat Brock Lesnar. It was great seeing Heyman. I loved every moment that he talked, and then when Big Show got out there, the segment just sucked. So who the hell's gonna buy the Big Show beating the guy that beat John Cena and Undertaker? Yeah, right. Big Show's losing. Give me a break. And we had the best part of the show. It was a one-on-one match between Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns. And they went out there and they busted their ass. They put on a pretty good match. It was a nice brawl. They worked very well with each other. The match was really hard-hitting. Eventually, they went out into the stands. That was awesome to see. And they pretty much had a fight going on, like a street fight, as the ref made to the 10 count, so there was a double count out. And, it was great seeing Wyatt took a WWE tech employee and threw him into Roman Reigns, and then as Wyatt was going back, Reigns got back up and speared him through the barricade. And then Wyatt gets back up. He's standing on top of the table, and then Reigns gets back up and spears Bray Wyatt into the announce table. That was epic, and they left both guys laying out, and that's how Raw closed out. So it was a great ending to a shit show. That's the best way I can describe it. This was a D- show. I'm not giving it an F because I like the stuff at the beginning. The primetime players versus Harper and Strowman, and this. 3 things on a 3-hour show. It's pathetic. So D- for me. That's my thoughts on last night's episode of Raw. If you like these videos, please click that subscribe button. Click the like button. Thank you all for watching this video. And I will be back with my review for this week's episode of NXT, which should be a good show, because it's always a good show, because NXT is the best. So with that, I am out. Thanks for watching. Peace.